Well, here we are again, folks. It's Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. I have a battle. You know I have a battle with the devil. I have to battle the devil. The devil says to me, "You're foolish. You spend all this time in this one book. People are going to think you're crazy." I don't care what people think. I'm not out here to please people. I'm out here that one person that picks this up and watches it can learn from it, that he could take and start a small church somewhere. He would know how to tell those people in that church how to get in the Word, how to find the Word, and what to do, and how to live it. Now you are seeing a man on this screen that lives what he teaches and teaches what he lives. And I have proof of that. I have a wife right downstairs that will back me up 100% on this. Now if a man's got a wife that will back him up, he's in good shape. Because let no man be, don't swear on your own self. Don't swear on anybody. But if you've got two witnesses, you're doing pretty good. Now I got a wife downstairs and I got 6 children that will tell you, I believe what I say what I believe, and I haven't veered from it now since 1972. I followed it, and I followed it true blue, straight through. And I'm going to tell you, you can do it. Now I know I run a lot of rabbit trails. I know I get off in a lot of places, and I say a lot of things that I don't have but a few words out of the Bible in. And I'm sorry for that, because only the Word is the only thing that will really last. But I see so much in this, and I see so much today of this right here is being missed. And we've got to get back to it. We've got to get back to what the Word said. Now look at this. He said, offenders in the church. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouth need to be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said that the centurions are always liars, evil beasts, and slow bellies. This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to the Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Now verse 15, unto the pure, all these things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelievers is nothing pure, but even their mind and their conscience is defiled. Even the mind and conscience of the man that's not pure is defiled. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. Have you ever had anybody come to you and say, does so-and-so go to that church down there? And you say, yeah. So you know I'm his next door neighbor, and you know he's the biggest hypocrite I ever met. Terrible witness. Terrible witness. Terrible thing that somebody to say about you. Terrible thing for somebody to say about you. More than likely it's true. If somebody, your neighbor, says that about you, you're probably the person standing in the way of him going to hell. You're one of those standing in the way of a man going to heaven by your actions. Terrible situation. You need to get out of that situation, my friend. You need to change it. He said, but speak thou these things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in good behavior, as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. Now many of you, right there, many of you that are watching this, many of you that do watch this around the world, when you watch it, the only thing you heard of that whole verse, one thing you heard, just one, the only thing you heard was not given to much wine. Not given to much wine. I want to ask you this. Let me just ask you this. How many pills do you take at night? How many pills do you take at night that could be considered just as bad, if not worse, than a glass of wine? You take a Valium, you take a Zantac, you take anything stronger than a 6-pack of beer? Many of you do. Many of you take a pill stronger than a 6-pack of beer. I'm here to tell you right now that back in the day this Bible was written, there was a necessity in times gone by for them to use some alcohol for purposes of being taking care of the body. I tell you what, you get constipated over here, you can go get you something to take to unconstipate you. Over there you get constipated, you drink a little wine to get your stomach working so that you could use the bathroom so you wouldn't blow up. And I tell you what, there are some people today that need to blow up. And just get out of here. Just go on. Just get out of the way. Because all they do is they hunt for something to fret about, or something to pick at, or something to say, or they ride this verse about the wine. They don't hear nothing else. They don't hear all the good stuff, all the stuff you're supposed to be giving up besides that little bit of wine. False accusations. False accusations. You're supposed to be good teachers. You're supposed to think good things. You're supposed to be in good behavior. So that you teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, to be chaste, to be keepers at home, to be good, to be obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be blasphemed. How many of you mothers today teaching your children to be obedient to your husbands, your girls? Are you teaching them by the way you act to your own husband, that they don't have to pay attention? That they can say, well, my daddy, he said it, and mama didn't pay attention to it. And that's just the way it was. My mama wore the pants. Woo! I've been in some of them houses. Oh, I hate getting around a house like that, where the woman wears the pants. She don't know it. But when she put them pants on, she took herself off the queen's throne. I tell you what, a lady that will follow her husband is on the queen's throne. When he's the king, she's the queen. And I'll tell you another thing. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Because when mama's unhappy, she's usually unhappy because she thinks she needs to run the show. So she gets unhappy and makes the whole family miserable because of the way she is. And there's a great truth in that. When mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. But that's not the reason why is mama makes it miserable when she's miserable. Alright, let's get on. Let's get out of this. Verse 6. Young men, likewise, exhort to be sober-minded in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works. A pattern of good works. In doctrine. How can you show it in doctrine if you don't know the doctrine? Showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. How are you going to do that, young man, if you don't know it? Sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of a contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say about you or to you. You know, there are people that don't do, they love nothing better than to say all teenagers are going to hell. All teenagers are heathens. They're this and that. And boy, here they come up on one. He's not. He's following God. He comes to church in a necktie and a suit. He carries his Bible. He gets up and does a little preaching. He teaches the class. He goes out and works in the Awareness. He works in the Bible school. He works in the camp. He does all these things. Oh, it just irks those people that love to talk about teenagers slapped to death. Because here's one that's doing right. Why is he or she doing right? Because they were taught. How were they taught? They were taught by word and deed. Their mother and father did it in a deed to fidelity,